That's not even all there is, because your producer, Vinny, is successful in getting hold of Cactus.
Yes, this is kind of the main event of this segment, that's for sure.
But it's more than that, because Paulie remains on the phone.
I know. I mean, it was like him every time anything was said. I mean, Paulie would jump right in, and then we have other surprises that take place during the call. And Paulie's notorious for interactions with not only callers but telephone operators and the like. But this clip is, I would have to say, in the history of the show, over its run, I would put this in the top 5 all-time moments of Pro Wrestling Spotlight.
Wow, that's high praise. Let's get to it right now.
I just want to just apologize for what happened Friday. You know, I suffered the consequences, as a lot of your opponents have, but I just really didn't mean to do that. It was just short-sighted on my part, and I'm sorry, you know, and I did feel the consequences, but I had a friendship with you, and I just hope this doesn't really affect it.
Well, John, I know I've been listening to this show. I've heard Paulie. It's always good to hear from Paulie. And as far as affecting a friendship, John, there are some things that just can't be turned around. Sometimes fate takes us a certain way and things aren't meant to turn around. Now, I can forgive you for being concerned for Sunny Beach. I can forgive you for putting your nose in my business. I can forgive you for a lot of things. But do you know what I did when I got home from Plain Edge High School, John?
No.
Do you know what I did? After a lot of soul searching, I put the convertible top down. I took a walk in the park. Do you know what I did when I got home?
No, I don't, Cactus.
I got engaged to be married.
You did?
Congratulations. I am now engaged to be married. Do you consider me a creative person, Paul? Do you consider me a creative person?
I consider you the creative genius of professional wrestling.
Well, thank you. I consider myself a creative person. You know how long I thought about how I was going to get engaged, how I was going to go about doing it, how many different ideas of proposal I had? One of them, John, believe it or not, was to be engaged live on the air on your show. So everything was going to be great, but never, never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that I'd spend my engagement night lamenting and crying and moaning that I've dropped an elbow on poor John Arezzi. For the rest of my life, when I look at that ring, I got to think of you. I got to think of you. I can forgive you for making me get up in that ring apron and put my hip through that once again. But I had my reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Paulie, you're well-read. I know you've studied Sigmund Freud.
Yes.
2 things kept going through my mind.
Yes.
I only remember 2 things about Sigmund Freud. I was in high school, and I remember signs for mental illness. And I remember looking at all the signs and checking them off one by one and saying, yeah, that's me.
Yes.
That's me. That's me. That's me.
Yes.
The second thing I remember is his 7 defense mechanisms.
That's right.
One of them, I forget a lot of things, but one of them kept coming through my head as I analyzed the situation. I thought of John lying awake, hurting, his back in a knot, his brain in torment. I kept thinking of transferal, meaning I took my anger on something else out on someone who had nothing really to do with it. You got to understand, I just came back from Japan where they actually respect wrestlers. And then I come into Plain Edge High School, with the exception of a bunch of people wearing Cactus Jack shirts. I may as well have been in the circus, because they were there to see a circus act. They weren't there to see real wrestling. But Paulie, I made them sit down and I made them like it. I remember seeing the Deer Hunter. I remember seeing the Deer Hunter when I was a young child. I saw it with a lot of relatives. And for 4 days after the movie, for 4 whole days, all the relatives could talk about was how much they didn't like the Deer Hunter. I didn't like that movie. I really didn't like it. But they kept talking about it. Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
They kept talking about it. It had an effect on them. So maybe the people in Plain Edge High School didn't like what I was doing, but it had an effect on them. There were no cheers, there were no boos, there were just mouths hanging open. And why? Because I hated every single one of them. And Paulie, with you as my witness, if I could have spared the spit, I would have walked up and down the bleachers at Plain Edge High and laid a gooey one on all of them because that's what they deserved. So they're going to try to laugh at me and they expect to see their little wrestling show. Well, that's not what I'm going to give them. Do you understand?
Where's Plain Edge? Is that in Long Island?
What?
Is that in Long Island?
Yeah, Massapequa.
Yeah.
Oh, Massapequa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why, Jack.
Why?
They're retarded. Did you know that Massapequa, and this is a geographical fact, is the highest point in Long Island?
Really?
And therefore, the toxic winds from New Jersey can actually hit that town without having to descend and break up due to the atmosphere. And since the toxic winds come over, I think comes over the Verrazano Bridge, and it comes over through Staten Island and then hits Long Island, they're just brain dead.
You mean that smell when you pass by Staten Island may be responsible for
Yeah,
ignorance?
it's not a paper mill, it's from Jersey.
Oh.
So it's normal for those people to just sit there with their tongue scraping on the floor.
Oh.
You shouldn't get upset at them. They're brain dead. It's a town filled with Muhammad Alis.
No, it's, well, you know what? I mean, it's something of a revelation. I mean, here I am. John said that the tension was in the air at the autograph show, but I'd said I'd be there, and I was.
I appreciate that.
But I really, when I woke up this morning, John, I don't think I'd forgotten about you. Like I said, I got to suffer the rest of my life. Every time I kiss my beautiful wife, I got to think of you.
That's sickening.
That's the kind of thing that makes men... I mean, there may not be no children because of you, John.
I got a suggestion for you, Jack.
What, Paul?
I would break up with her, take the ring back, leave, then come back later on in the day and repropose. And then you don't have to think of this guy anymore. And plus, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So you might even appreciate her more the second time around.
And I wouldn't have to think of John?
You won't have to think of John anymore.
That's something to think about.
Sunny Beach is calling in here.
I don't really want to talk to Sunny Beach.
Sunny Beach, son of a beach.
I mean, haven't I made his career as it is? Do I really have to?
You know, every time Cactus Jack and I walk down Park Avenue and Madison Avenue, that's what people call us.
What's that?
Hey, wait, Sunny Beach, Sunny Beach.
Well, Sonny, I guess has something to say, and why don't we just get him on? Whoa, Sonny,
Yeah, John.
you had a comment?
I have a bunch of comments. Cactus Jack, what you did to me at Plain Edge High School is unacceptable to me. I've been at home. I was in the hospital after that match. I got 25 stitches in my head, busting a chair over it. And I'm declaring war on you wherever you go, whatever town you're in. Sunny Beach just might be there.
Yeah, but you're forgetting
You're
one thing.
going to have to look over your shoulder every time. When you sleep, you just got engaged. Well, I feel sorry for the woman you got engaged to because she's going to be a widow really soon. And Bob Orton, that drugstore cowboy you're hanging out with, tagging up with in the UWF. Me and my partner Steve Ray are going to pick you apart one by one, no matter where it's at. Singles matches, tag matches, it doesn't matter, Cactus. You know where I'm coming from. Now I might be on the edge just a little bit, brother. I might be out there to end your career, and that's what I'm going to do.
Sonny,
Sonny?
if you end my career...
I had church bells in the background.
Good luck getting booked, because no one's going to care about you. No one's going to care about you, and I think I detected a murder threat. I think I detected a murder threat, and I don't appreciate it. I got enough things on my mind without worrying about your hospital visits, okay? And you're worried about me hitting you over there with a chair? Well, that chair was dedicated to Fred the Elephant Boy, and he was damn proud of it. And just last night, I was told by one of the wrestlers in the dressing room in Tom's River that they'd named their puppy Rottweiler after me.
Wow. Sonny, we lost Sunny Beach. We lost him.
Well, that may be wrestling's gain and your gain. Why does Sonny want to bite the hand that feeds him? Never mind the fact that in order to feed him, I stick that hand so far down his throat that I can touch his liver. I'm still feeding him, Paul.
I know you are.
Just like Jim Ross has
He
been
got beat up
feeding
by the
off
best.
of you, Missy Hyatt's been feeding off you, and I've been watching. And they want to continually downgrade the people that pay the bills. Does Jim Ross really want to open up that refrigerator and see no groceries in there? I don't think so. So maybe he ought to get off your back and start realizing that you're the man that puts food in his pantry.
That's right. You know, I'm the host. He's just the co-host.
That's the way I see it.
You got very good eyes.
You know what? Here's Sonny Beach. He's got stitches in his head. It's really a shame what's happening to wrestling. He's got stitches in his head. Cactus Jack is spending his day off to get x-rays for broken ribs. And Paulie Dangerously must have the worst back in town from carrying Jim Ross every week.
That's right. I agree with you. You know, Cactus, you are indeed a genius. You're a modern-day Einstein.
That's touching. I've been touched so many times. I'm engaged. I had a Rottweiler named after me, and now I'm a genius.
A modern-day Einstein.
And to think, I felt bad when I got up this morning. And not only that, but as fate would have it, we lost Sunny Beach. I'm batting 1,000.
What kind of name is Sunny Beach anyway?
You know what? It's a name that he gave himself.
What else would a beach be? What are you going to call it? Crowded Beach?
Be Sandy Beach. Yeah, he had another beach. Well, Sunny Beach is not good enough. He's now Sexy Sunny Beach.
Sexy Sunny Beach.
Yes. And I find in life that when someone tells you they're sexy, they're probably not. You know, do you have to walk around town saying, you know, intelligent, Paulie Dangerously?
They take it for granted.
Yes. Sexy Sunny Beach. It's like when someone calls themselves big. They obviously got questions about themselves. If they got to tell you right away, yes, they're big. Hi, I'm Big Dick Hurts. They obviously got questions about themselves. You know, if someone calls themselves fast, maybe they're questioning just how fast they are. So Sexy Sunny Beach, I bet you he lies awake nights really dreaming about his real sexual appeal. I don't see it. I'm not looking for it, but I don't see it in the fans.
See, a lot of people don't realize that your real first name is Cactus.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's not something that I went upon and said, look, I'm going to look in the mirror. I'm going to help out my wrestling career. I'm going to call myself Sexy. Yeah, that's a name that's going to send shivers down spines. Sexy Sunny Beach. So what are you saying, that when I climb in the ring against Sunny Beach, oh, I'm fine. I don't have to worry about being hurt. I just have to worry about being molested.
There you go.
So I'm really not that scared as it is. I got things in perspective. And, John, like I'm saying to you, when you grabbed me at the crowd, it was nothing personal. Do you understand?
Yep.
It was nothing personal. And, Paul, when I turned around, I didn't see John Arezzi. I saw Mankind.
Well, you couldn't really see him because he's so short.
I'm talking in a figurative sense. I didn't see anything. I saw humanity, and I hated it. And I told you that if I could build a ladder to the stars, I'd drop an elbow on the world. And in the words of Terry Funk, and maybe you could say it better, but if that hand had reached out and grabbed me...
Operator,
Yes.
get off the line, you idiot.
Sir, I haven't
Get off
heard
the line, you idiot.
Paul, you got that resolved?
Who is that?
I guess the operator was trying to break into your conversation.
Everybody wants to talk to us today, Cactus.
Well, you know Terry Funk, and you know Terry Funk well. And Terry's out, and so I'm going to dedicate this to him. But if, John, like I said, it was nothing personal, but if a certain person had grabbed me, they would have felt the elbow. If my dear, old, decrepit, overbearing, obnoxious, sweet, ignorant mother had grabbed me, and he would have felt the elbow too. It didn't matter who it was, someone was going to get dropped. And Sonny Beach is worried about his hospital visits. Well, Sonny, maybe next time you should call ahead and make reservations, because I got a feeling you're going to be spending a lot of time there. So, John, I just want to say that I consider our friendship resolved.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about your back. I'm sorry for the torment. I'm sorry I have to be me thinking about you. And, Paulie, I'm sorry for cutting in and putting a remorse tone on your evening, on your afternoon.
Well, Cactus, I appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, I just did you go to Cactus's wedding?
I did not.
I was invited too, and I could not go, but for a very good reason. My brother was being married the same day.
Wow.
I would have been there otherwise, I'll tell you that much, because that would have been tremendous. I heard it was a great wedding too.
What year was it? What year did he get married?
Was it? I don't think it was all that long after he made this announcement, was it?
Yeah. Because
I don't specifically.
I know I was invited. I was out of town. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, I said, "Wow, I'll be there," and he gave me the date, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm sorry." Because my brother's wedding was already in the.
Well, of course, I mean that's a good excuse, but
I considered it an honor that he would even invite me. So I just
yeah,
and it certainly has been a wonderful life for him since he met Colette. It's just great
Absolutely.
kids, great people, and one of the funniest people in the history of the business. And put them together with Paulie, and bang.
Yeah, that's magic. Those two guys together on the same show, interacting with the angle and everything that happened, and then Sunny Beach calling up, and then Paulie getting interrupted by the operator. It was a very, very cool segment to listen to. It really was, and just relive.
A little bit politically incorrect, some of the language and verbiage, but that was the era, folks. Just that was mindsets were a little different back then. I do recall.
Yeah, things have changed in 30 years.
They really have. They really have. Because I listen to them talking and I get a little shocked.
I do too.
And at the time, I wasn't as shocked. Now I'm more shocked hearing it now than I was then.
Isn't that something? How things have changed so much that you could sometimes have cringe moments when you're listening back at some of the.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything that's there's a couple of words that I don't think would be said today in mixed company or any company.
Well, spoiler alert! Wait till you hear what Missy Hyatt and Jason Hervey say later on in December about Eddie Gilbert and some of the other things they say. Yeah, I actually, you'll hear. I had to apologize to the listening audience based on some of the things that they come out with. Yeah,
we got some stuff coming up for you guys. I'm telling you,
we do. Oh, we do. But that was a great segment, Bob. It brings back the memories, and it's just something that to this day I listen back to, and I'm like, that was very cool.
That was episode 107 from April 28, 1991, and that one should have been on long before it was. I mean, that really is a tremendous segment right there.